All right. Thanks everyone for joining our podcast, Cloud Junkie. You can find this and past episodes on crayon.com/cloud junkie or any major podcast provider. Today we're starting our Modern Work series. I'm with Chris Smith, VP of Engineering and Delivery at Crayon Software Experts. Thanks, Chris, for joining.
Absolutely. Beth, thanks for having me.
Yeah, so today I want to dive right into our topic. So we're going to talk about what is modern work, or what is the modern workplace. So we went ahead and asked our LinkedIn followers, what is modern work to you? And I'll just share with you the top answers. Let's see, answer number one, being able to work anywhere, collaborating with teams remotely, work from anywhere, collaborate with everyone. Ooh, I like that one.
It's good.
That's a good one. Younger generation of workers or millennials working. the late, the latest technology, and then let's see, Office 365 or Teams, or a weird name Microsoft possibly came up with.
That probably has some truth.
Yeah, they're not too far off. So,
No.
um, so Chris, how about you introduce yourself? Let's hear a little bit of background, your current role at Crayon, so we can kind of set the context to where you're coming from, and then I'm going to ask you, what is modern work? So, Chris, go ahead.
Yeah, absolutely. So thanks, Beth. I'm the VP of Engineering and Delivery, as Beth had said, and I have been in IT for a little less than 20 years. It was not my first career, but I got into it and fell in love with it, and been doing it ever since. Worked in the enterprise space for a little less than 10 years. And then found my true calling, which was in the managed services, professional services, and consulting space. So I've been doing that for a little over 8 years now, and it's been a lot of fun. It's been a wild ride, staying on top of all the technologies and doing that, and building out teams that can stay on the cutting edge of what is the latest and greatest that's coming out, and kind of doing all that fun stuff, right? So in going forward with modern work, right? Modern work is really it's a new way of working. It's empowering productivity, creativity, and teamwork. It's placing employees at the center for communication and collaboration, regardless of location and platform. Of course, while maintaining security, integrity of systems and data. It's really, really challenging because you got people working everywhere, no matter where they are. With all the pandemic stuff that's going on, they're working in so many different places in so many different areas, and they've got their laptops, they've got their mobile devices, they've got logging into all of this crazy information that needs to be secure. And really, modern work is being able to have the agility to answer all of those places that people are working from. Excuse me.
That's great, Chris. So let me challenge you on that just a little bit. So if you had to sum up modern work, maybe in one sentence, how would you define modern work?
Ideally, or really, modern work is performing daily duties in the post-pandemic pajama bottoms, business attire, tops, kids running around with pets on the desk and hanging out at coffee shops as my new office type environment.
That's great. That's great. I love it. Okay, so let's dial it back a little bit and now kind of figure out how this definition was formed. So when we look at the market, in the past few years, we've seen Microsoft, Google, AWS, major vendors all coming out with these productivity suites, and deeming it worthy to call something modern work. So how did this become such a focus, or how did the market get to this that it's such a focus now?
Yeah, so really modern work truly is it's a Microsoft coined phrase for their product line, right? You went from Office 365, Microsoft 365, now they're calling it modern work. So really they had modern workplace, and then now they've cut the place off and just said modern work. Microsoft has driven a lot of that. Google has their own product suite that's out there as well, in G Suite. AWS has their own mail platform, but of course, a lot of enterprises and a lot of larger organizations that are out there, and even smaller organizations, really use that Microsoft platform. But really, it comes down to the market challenges that are out there that organizations have had to solve to come up with really what modern work is. So, people weren't really sure what the best tool is, or what they don't have, or they don't know what they don't have. And the reason from that, right, is they know they need email, they know they need collaboration. In a lot of organizations, they'll use Zoom, or they'll use WebEx, but they'll use a part of Microsoft's platform. They'll use all of these different disparate tools, and really the one of the challenges with modern work is combining all of those tools into a single platform for management, because you have to manage the security of the data and what users are doing, right? You've got companies that need to deal with remote workers, right? In this post pandemic world, and we're not over it yet, right? Everybody's working from home. I'm working from home today. Right, everybody's working in a remote location, and that's a lot of connectivity into the pre-pandemic, where you were connecting into data centers and you were getting on the VPN to connect to securely connect to all of this data. But now you're doing that in remote locations, and being able to figure out how to do that in such a secure way. And that's a big challenge on the market today, while providing what every employee wants, which is flexibility and that ability to work remote without having to go into an office. But with that, one of the other challenges that came with that, and I don't know that anyone probably could have foreseen the impact of this, but people feel disconnected. Shocking, Beth. I'm very much a people person. I know it's a shocker, right? I need to be with other people, and so I find myself going to a coffee shop just to be around other people. It's not always just fun sitting in the basement and being on video. As much as I love seeing everybody on video, sometimes that's not enough, and so people are feeling disconnected. So finding ways to help people not feel that way is another challenge in the market today.
So, Chris, you mentioned I wanted to dive deeper into people feel disconnected. So, what I see is people want to work remote. So, we had everyone wants more flexibility. They want to work remote. And now we're letting people work remote. People are leaving their jobs if they don't have this flexibility. And now that we're given this flexibility, we see, hey, now people are feeling disconnected. So I guess what would your response be to people feeling this disconnection? And then do you see hybrid work, or do you see remote work going away?
Yeah, that's a really good question, Beth. And the answer really is people want to be productive and good at their jobs. There's not anybody who doesn't want to feel like they're doing their job well. And a part of that means giving people the flexibility to better accommodate their lives in the world that we're living in today, right? And remote work is not going to go away. It's not going to go away anytime soon, and it's not going to go away in the future. It's just going to continue to increase. But now we have to come back to the market challenges, right? Executives want to give flexibility. However, they're worried about productivity and security. And then people are being given flexibility, but yet they're feeling disconnected, and they aren't sure whether they're using the right tools. Executives are like, are we using the right tools? The employees are feeling, are they feeling productive? Are they doing their job well? And they don't know the best way to connect with their coworkers.
That's exactly it. So when I'm thinking about modern work, really, I'm learning from you. The conversation is it almost falls into three buckets. We have productivity. People want to be productive. Leaders want their teams to have flexibility and still be productive. And then they want to run their business securely. And then we have kind of an employee experience bucket. Almost something, how can we keep this flexibility, stay productive, stay competitive in our jobs, be good at our jobs, and still feel this connection. So I want to bridge the gap for our listeners. So I want to translate the connection of these problems to kind of how the technology we have available, and bridge that gap. So what products and services we are seeing developed to kind of help answer these market challenges. So this would lead to the question, we know what modern work is, but how do we do it? So Chris, where do you start?
Yeah, it really comes down to finding someone that A, knows what modern work is, and B, having an intelligent and trustworthy conversation about it, having that trusted advisor that can lead you on that journey.
Okay, so let's dive into that and take that a bit further. Can you be more blunt? So I know you don't have customers coming to you saying, "I need help with modern work," but let me pose as a customer and um, tell you where they might be coming from. So Chris, I'm a frustrated CIO, and I call you and I say, Chris, how can I conduct my business with inclusive, secure meetings when half my workforce is remote? I'm frustrated. What would I do?
Yeah, I mean, the key here is to understand where you are in this journey, right? One size doesn't fit all. It's a customized solution. Cran approaches this through consulting services, technical and training support provided through this journey. And again, it's a customized offer. We really look at everything that you're doing with an organization, right? We look at the tools that you're using and what you're not using. We look at the costs that you're spending on the technologies, and we help you put together that plan that's specific to your organization. We look at the amount of people that may be coming into an office versus the amount of people that are not, right? The remote workforce. We look at your priority on security. We look at your priorities on data. We look at your priorities on employee productivity. We gather all of that information, and then we help you. We walk along that journey with you to help you put the best out there for your organization and for your employees.
Great. I really like that you said it's not necessarily a one size fits all. And what we can learn from that is modern work is truly a journey. So, Chris,
Yeah,
we have one last question for sake of time. Can you tell us a fun fact or what you see as the future of modern work? What will we see in 2022 or 2023? So let's hear it.
yeah. I think there's thousands of changes that are coming from a technology standpoint. However, I personally like the video of motorcycle guy that has a green screen with his laptop in front of him and he's doing business meetings with his face all plastered back. I think that's probably what the future is going to hold.
Chris, I can't top that. That's a great place to end this. So, Chris, I want to thank you for joining us. And for our listeners, we'll continue with our modern work series over the next few weeks. And we're going to really dive in, now that we know what modern work is, dive into this technology and visit some of the major vendors, including Microsoft, that provides these modern work technologies and tries to solve some of the answers to these questions. And we'll invite Chris back too to deep dive in some of our discussions. You can look forward to some Teams Voice, SharePoint, Viva, and more. So thank you everyone for joining. And for more information and resources on modern work, you can visit our website at crayon.com/modernwork. Thanks, Chris.
Absolutely. Thanks, Beth.